Hi, Math 3 students. Today we're going to go over how to solve rational equations. It's actually very similar to what we do when we are adding and subtracting them. There's just one additional, actually two additional steps, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at each term. Here we have a 3x, and then nothing. So we have to, again, find our common denominator, which what I would do here is 3x. All right, so this first guy, we're going to multiply by x over x. We get negative 2x all over 3x. My second guy is good to go. And then my third guy needs to be multiplied by 3x. All right. So now, once we have a common denominator across the board, what you're going to do is you are going to take that denominator, your common denominator, and set it equal to 0. Okay? And essentially, that common denominator cannot equal 0, because if it equals 0, that means we're dividing by 0. So you can go ahead, solve that, and that tells you what x cannot be. X cannot be 0. Okay, because if we divide by 0, it breaks math rules, so we can't have that. So I always recommend before you, once you get your common denominator, you set it equal to 0, find out what values x cannot be. We use this at the end once we actually solve the equation. We check our solution or solutions and see if any of them were excluded at this point, and if they were, we have to cross them out. So now at this point, we can drop off our denominator. All right, because we had a common denominator, it can go away. Then we're going to go ahead and add. Now we just solve the equation. So we end up with x equals 1. Now, before we say, hey, okay, this is our solution here, we have to double check. Okay, is this guy part of my values that x cannot be? It's not, so that's good. That's my answer there. All right, let's try another one. Let's do, they're all fairly easy. All right, let's go ahead and try number 82. All right, our common denominator here is just going to be x minus 9. So we have negative 9 over 1 times x, or my goodness, you can tell I'm tired. Sorry, our common denominator is going to be x plus 9. So this first guy, we're going to have to multiply by x plus 9 over x plus 9. We get a minus 9x minus 81 all over x plus 9. And then everything else is good to go, okay? So at this point, we've got our common denominator across the board. So that's where we say we set it equal to 0. And say it can't equal 0. And we get that x cannot be negative 9. All right. So now we can drop out our common denominator. We get negative 9x minus 81 plus 1 equals negative x. We get negative 9x. We can combine like terms. We get minus 80. Add 9x. And we get negative 80 is equal to 8x. Divide both sides by 8, and we get that x equals negative 10. And then we can check, is this guy good to go? Yep, so that is my answer. All right. Let's go ahead and try number 86 here. So if we look here, our common denominator is going to be x minus 8. So I'm going to do 5 over 1, x minus 8 over x minus 8. We distribute, and we get 5x minus 40 all over x minus 8 minus 2 over x minus 8. And then this guy also needs the common denominator. We're going to multiply him by x minus 8 over x minus 8. So we get x squared minus 8x all over x minus 8. So we set our common denominator equal to 0. Say it can't be 0. And we get that x cannot be equal to 8. So if we end up with 8 as one of our solutions, we have to cross it out. All right, so we cross out our denominator here. We get 5x minus 40. We distribute. Don't forget to do that. Now, if you notice, this guy here is a quadratic. So you have to go ahead and get everything on the same side, and we're going to attempt to solve it by factoring. All right. So we're going to go ahead, subtract 5x from both sides, add 42. So we end up with 0 equals x squared minus 5x plus 50. No, not plus 50. Oh my goodness. 42 minus 8 is going to be 34. Oh, this should have had an x on there. Oh, man. Well, real quick, what I did wrong, this should have had an x on there. Oh, boy. So we should have had the plus 42 here, but this should have been a minus 13x. Sorry, guys. All right, so now we can go ahead and solve by factoring. We get x minus 7, x minus 6. Again, we have to figure out what two numbers multiply to this, add to this. We get that x equals 7, x equals 6 is our solutions. We have to double check. Do we have to cross out any of these? Nope. It's because it's just that x cannot equal 8.